Now, my purpose out here today is I'm looking for uniting issues because I don't feel it represents the 99% of some of the solutions I'm hearing. When people say get rid of capitalism, free markets.
I don't believe in that.
Okay, and that's good. That's why I'm out here today. So I want to know, instead of the 99% in the general consensus, why individuals, what pisses them off the most, and why they personally are out here today.
Well, you have a bunch of tangents people are going on. Some people, for some people, it's environmental issues. For some people, it's healthcare issues. For some people, it's Social Security. For some people, it's just discontent with their lot in life, and they want more jobs, or they just don't like the way their life is going. Some people are content with their lot in life, but don't like the fact that they have no room for growth and development economically. They see things like the houses being foreclosed, all types of taxation without representation, things that are receding, and people are getting disgruntled, and people are getting discontent in all type of areas. So it's not just one tangent that people are on.
Now, when you say no taxation, like in the modern day term, what do you mean by no taxation without representation?
Well, I didn't say no taxation. I said taxation.
Oh, taxation.
What it is a lot of people are seeing that they are not reaping any benefits from their labor here. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And their cost of living is not equally balanced with what they're able to earn. So in other words, they're barely able to subsist.
Now, what do you think causes that?
Well, I think the fact that economically, our chances for growth and development have been nullified. I think that we're in a perpetual state of suspended animation economically. And when we do that, then we have no chance. But like back in the days, you used to be arguing with your boss for a raise. Now, you're scared to look your boss in the eye because you're thinking you might be downsized that day. So pretty much that's like self-explanatory. It tells it all.
What kind of solutions are you looking for personally?
Well, I'm looking for our workforce and labor force to be brought back from overseas, first of all. We need some concessions made. We need them to concede concerning our workforce. And then also we need them to make allowances for Social Security, for schools. They're closing schools and building prisons. You know, it's just like ass backwards. We really need concessions made for growth and development for the youth and for our seniors and for the average man and woman.
I hear a lot about the 99% and the consensus, but I'm more interested in individuals out here today and what you think yourself individually. What issues brought you out here today, and why are you personally protesting?
Well, our country has fallen astray from this. I hope you read this, right? I hope every American has this in their pocket. They should. It's the greatest thing. Not perfect, but it's the best thing ever written. For the most part. I mean, nothing's ever perfect, but whatever. Our country's, the corporations, these corporate leaders, corrupt. You gotta make sure there's a big difference from, we're not anti-corporate. I'm not anti-corporate. You have the right to make as much money as you want, right? As long as you pay your damn taxes. If you're the 1% of the 1% that feels that because you have billions of dollars and you don't deserve to pay taxes, well, one, I don't know what government can survive without.
So why are you protesting here and not in front of the White House?
I'll get to that right after. I'm telling why I'm here, coming here first, right? I'll tell you one way that will easily. I'll just say right now, they're used to crazy, angry mobs in front of the White House, right? They get every time something bad happens. They never expected this to happen here, and because of this happening here, you'll be surprised if you stay here a while. Their heads are really like they don't know what to do because we got this defending us, and all their plans, all their towers and the cop cars are rigged, or all their plans are set for us throwing Molotovs, right? But if we're giving hugs instead of Molotovs,
they're doing in Oakland.
Well, the only reason why is because I don't know if you're from Oakland. Have you ever lived in Oakland? The cops are really, really, really racist. I used to live there too, so I mean I've seen it. Like if there'd be a difference. Like I'd be protesting, right?
It's not black people.
It's I mean there's anarchists that always every protest that they have in Oakland has these weird people trying to start shit, right? And then they just don't have the control we do. We have our own security force that stops that stuff. But then again, like if we were protesting here and we're like, oh, right, and me and him were here, they would beat the hell out of him before they'd come to me. I've seen it, and it's wrong. They're horribly, I mean, it's horribly racist. I'm serious.
I'm curious, what composes that security force? Like, is that an organized thing, or?
Well, I mean, we're all organized like the cells in the human body, right? I'm going to use you as an example. Can I use you as an example? Okay. Well, if you're a big guy, you tend to hang out with big guys or like ex-Marines, then you just come naturally together as security.
Okay, so there's no like actual organized security.
Well, we have, okay, the best way to put this is, we're like cells in the body, right? Every cell has its task, except for the stem cells that do different things, but like me, I can do a lot of stuff. But you tend to hang out, let's say you have a tendency to, let's say you guys have medical degrees. They tend to hang together, and then we have free healthcare.
Okay.
So like if you're good cook, bam.
But you're saying it's an organic thing. I'm trying to find out if there's no actual organized security force here.
Oh, we do. It's organized. They have walkie-talkies and stuff.
But they do. Okay.
Yeah. But they come together as like if you're really like a big guy or like some kind of like security, or if you used to work security somewhere else, you used to hang out. You would normally like come together, and they came together. And then when we finally got funding, we were like, hey, we got walkie-talkies. I'm gonna need your help in a second.
How do they get the jobs as a security force?
Just like I came here when I first started, I didn't know what to do. I thought this was another hippie movement, right? So I was like, because I'm from California and I seen it. So, but then I was like, oh my God, it's not. So then I just hung out with the guy that was here before me. One day, or the next day, he says, hey, could you sit down? Never seen him again. But I like passing out flyers. Stuff like that.
So they were like, hey, you're here anyway, want to make some money being the security force?
No, we don't make money, it's all volunteer.
Oh, okay, so we got money. Oh, so the money went to the walkie-talkies and the equipment.
The donations go to anything that we need at the time, depending on what it is.
But they're not like professional security people, they were just here and they got recruited.
Some of them used to work in security, some of them don't. Some of them are just big ex-Marines.
I want to know how, like, we got donations coming out, how do you assure that some panhandler don't come out here and say, hey, support the 99% and then go home and buy crack with it?
They do, I'm sure, but there's nothing we can do about it. We try our best not to let it happen and keep it down, but it is a free country, so, but we do have, when we see people that aren't a part of that don't go to groups and stuff like that, we approach them nicely and calmly, and it's donation, 100% non-personal profit. Anyway, so we try to assure, that doesn't happen. We go and talk to them and please ask them if they're going to do something like that, not to do it. If they're trying to sell anything that we give away, we take it from them.
Now, I'm curious, where does this money go? If I drop $1 in there,
the money that I get, half of it goes back to this. A quarter of it goes to a no-kill shelter, and then a quarter of it goes to our friend Heidi Alive, which is our veterinarian that helps out homeless people, homeless kids with their animals, doesn't matter what kind of animal it is. Plus we have occupied Paw Street. We have a dogs and animal zone that has to deal with all the animals here and everywhere else. We have free food, cats, dogs, rats. We got collars, we got bones, we got everything that they need. We take care of all the animals here.
Now is that uniform from all the people asking for money, or if I go talk to somebody else, are they going to say that it's going to some other cause?
Oh yeah, no, this is what I do, and what we do at our camp is strictly for us, and then what we give to the people, our occupied people, us, you know what I mean?
I see. So
but then, our quarter that goes to the no-kill shelter and to our friend Heidi at the veterinarian, that's completely separate.
So you're saying that there's no, with all the people with buckets out here, there's no uniform Occupy Wall Street?
Yeah, there is.
Oh, there's a donation uniform Occupy Wall Street? What I'm saying is they're a part, a particular wing of this that's collecting money and has certain rules about how you collect it and anything like that?
Yeah, we do. I mean, all the money goes to, it goes over by media zone. We have one certain group that takes care of all financial businesses,
So they get a cut of that too?
We need your help today.
Okay, so I mean, like, how do they police that though? Like, you're giving some of it to the dog?
I don't know yet. You'd have to talk to somebody that knows more about it than me. I'm not sure what goes on with the money and shit like that, you know what I mean?
But do they come and take it from you?
No, I take it to them.
You take it to them, and then they give you a piece of it to give to your dog shelter, or you know, or I don't want to say dog shelter.
No, I count it out and I do that myself.
Oh, but then you give a piece of it to them. Oh, I see. So you're voluntarily giving a piece of it to the Occupy Wall Street.
I voluntarily to give this one away.
Okay.
I could keep it for myself, but I do not.
So it's not like a protection racket or anything like that?
No.
Okay, cool.
No, I could keep it, but I don't.
All right.
Purposes and reasons for it.
Are there any rules, like if you decided to just take it all home and say, screw it, you know, I'm going to be the panhandler out here, do they have rules about standing back there and holding the Occupied Wall Street Journal, you know, if you're not going to contribute to it at all?
No.
No? Okay.
There's working groups here, but working groups are everywhere.
All right, you from
just one place where working groups are.
What is a working group?
What is a working group?
Yeah.
It's a group of people who get together and they do a certain thing, like arts and cultures. They do art stuff. The think tank, they sit over there for 6 hours and just discuss the issues. There's Vision and Goals who try to give us a goal. There's Political and Electoral Reform who want to try to reform our political and electoral system.
And how do you get on a working committee?
You go to a meeting.
You just show up and you basically be part of it?
Yeah.
So the working committees, because I'm piecing this together from what I've read in the news and seen on TV, do they kind of propose ideas and then the general consensus rules on it?
Yeah. It depends on what it is. If they want money that's over $100, then yes, they have to go to the General Assembly. Except now they have to go to the Spokes Council, which is a whole other issue.
What's that?
The Spokes Council is a group of working groups who are, you know, each working group has its own spoke. Not a spokesperson, but a spoke. It's just somebody who they select that day to speak for the group. And if they say something that somebody in the group doesn't like, then they can pull them back, because it's still consensus-based. And the spokes, they come to a decision on fiscal matters of the working group. If a working group wants to put out a message to the press or something, they would go through the General Assembly.
How do you keep somebody from like walking up and saying, I speak for Occupy Wall Street and I want to just, you know, do this horrible stuff?
That's happened before. It wasn't horrible, but there's a demands working group, and they had put a preface to demands. They gave it to the New York Times, and they were going to give them a list of demands. And we heard about that, and when we heard about it, we took it to the General Assembly to vote on whether or not to support that, and obviously we didn't support that.
What's your sign mean? I don't get it.
Oh, can you see a duck?
I do see a duck, yeah.
Can you see a rabbit?
Oh, I get it, okay. So it's like a don't believe what you hear type of thing, or don't believe what people tell you.
It's something. It's something.
It's something. Cool. Why are you out here? What particular cause are you out here for?
Well, I am espousing the message of Duck Rabbit and the Pac-Man Phantom Square. But really, I want to hear what people have to say. I wanted to see what it draws out of them. How it fits into the mythos of their life. Not the myth, but the story they live.
Cool. So did you have like a particular political issue you have?
Conceptual lenses, the way we see the world. There's a shortage on perspective, on being able to see the world in a different way than the way we ordinarily do. And there's more of a shortage in that than any natural resource, just about.
So you have more of like an abstract view you're bringing here, not like a particular issue.
A little more theoretical, for sure.
I live in New Jersey. I travel to the city about 4 to 5 times a week to New York. and I was pissed off when the tolls went from $8 to $12 in one day. To me, it should have been gradual.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? They're $2 more. When I go to my bank, and let's just say, well, not even my bank. If I am out of town or something and I miss one of my payments, thank you, honey. I'm gonna put your heat in here so I remember it. I miss a payment instantly, $35. Little stuff like that. Why is the gas prices so much? I don't know.
So yeah, it's really good stuff, man. Get donations, buy more, be bigger. It started with 9 guys on a pizza box. That's so cool. Yeah.
What issue like drives you out here?
Foreign policy mostly, and obviously I'm against the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, and Libya, Yemen, Somalia, all those places. I believe the foreign policy is from Wall Street. It dictates it based on its own interests, and all these wars that are happening now are because of Wall Street's interests.
What do you think a solution? Well, like I know this, the movement as a whole is not advocating solutions, but I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in individuals. 0.0003%. What do you think is a solution to the war issue? I mean, do you think Obama is going to do that in the second term?
Obama, in his campaign in 2008, he said he would end the war in Iraq and he would reduce the number of troops in Afghanistan. Iraq, I mean, he ended it, but after a fight. He wanted to keep like a third of the troops there, which was a lie. I mean, in his campaign, he promised he would remove.
And now we're keeping contractors there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Afghanistan, instead of ending the war, he increased the troops. He had a surge, which is disastrous, right? America's pretty much lost the war in Afghanistan. Iran is going in, China, Russia. I mean, all their influences is gaining strength in Afghanistan. And America pretty much has lost the war, lost all these lives. It's killing civilians. I mean, it's a whole mess over there. And Obama, he lied about that in his campaign. So in terms of ending the wars, Obama hasn't held up.
Now, what do you think would be a solution to that? I mean, you think a third-party candidate or some just...
I mean, the political system in America isn't... It isn't designed to have third party. It's a two-party system, Republican and Democrat. If a person is in the third party, it's usually the Green Party, and he usually gets like 1% of the vote. And it's because of the system in America. The system has to change first.
Now, I mean, what do you think we as people can do if there's no political situation or solution to it? What do you think as, just individuals or as an Occupy movement can do about the war issue?
Oakland. Simple as that, Oakland.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
So, rather than the movement, I want to talk to individuals, okay? So I want to know, what draws you out here? What issues draw you out to this protest?
Well, I came here to snap some pictures, but they have an art center, and I'm an artist. And I'm here painting signs, and this is my 34th day here. And I'm here because I think, what we're doing is good. It's a good thing for the children in the future because we need to have some kind of free education and stop the war first because that money we could use it for education and get the taxes from the rich that we could do better. I think that we could do it.
Now, how do you, what kind of solutions? Do you think there's a political solution to stopping the wars? Do you think Obama will stop the wars if he has a second term?
Well, I don't depend on Obama for nothing. Right now he's worried about making himself president again, and I don't think that his mind is helping anybody. But I think that, whoever wins with pressure, more pressure, maybe we could do something about it.
All right, thank you very much.
Maybe a revolution.
So I like this message here, left, right, unite, and I want to know, you've got stuff like Federal Reserve. What kind of issues do you think the left and the right, the sincere left and the right, not the fakes on TV, the sincere left and right can be united and agree with that?
So the main issue of Occupy Wall Street, mind if I look in your eyes, is economic inequality and getting money out of government. way. This is an issue that anyone on the political spectrum can agree with. No matter what persuasion you are, you want representatives to be able to represent you and not be co-opted by those with money. If you want power, if you're poor in your right, or you're poor in your left, or you're in the middle, wherever you are, you are not represented in Congress right now, or in the government. Those with power or those with money. So either you make politics more equal, or you make economics more equal, and they're kind of one and the same. So you can go an economic route and fight for more economic equality, or you fight for political equality, in which I think economic equality would follow. I don't know which. Maybe it's chicken or the egg. I would probably go for the politics first. But you need to work outside of the system because it is completely broken.
Hey guys, help keep the people in Tarleton warm. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. You got financial problems, so I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, so it's old.
So what individual issues draw you guys out here today? Like for yourself?
Okay, there's not one clear problem and there's not one clear solution. But we're all out here uniting, and once we all get together, we can solve it. This isn't the Vietnam War, this isn't end the war or anything. We don't have a clear problem or a clear solution.
So what for you individually pisses you off the most in this country?
Taxes.
Taxes?
I think there's got to be some sort of tax reform. You're wealthier getting wealthier and you're poor getting poorer. It sounds very cliche, but it's the truth.
So you guys are with Anonymous, or not? Yes and no. You're supporters of them with the flag and everything waving. Now, I want to know individually, that you don't have to give your identities. Forgetting the 99%, what you 0.00037 whatever percent individually, what draws you out here today? What issues piss you off the most?
Specifically, economic inequality and the amount of power corporate has over the legislative bodies in this country. They have too much power, they've invaded and poisoned the well of the political system, and politicians are no longer acting in the interest of the general people.
Now, I want to talk about Anonymous a little bit. What do you say to critics who criticize the methods that Anonymous uses, like in terms of like threatening to attack Fox News' website and personal property issues? Like, what is the justification?
We believe that they're not exactly the right.
I'm not working for Fox News here. I just want to know, because there are some people, like in terms of like there was a bunch of celebrities that got their pictures hacked by a group that's claiming to be an offshoot of Anonymous, and I've not heard Anonymous come out and say, hey, we're not affiliated with these people. That's not political. I mean, do you think Anonymous should say that we're not affiliated with those people that are doing that?
Yeah. No one really knows what Anonymous is. Some people who are doing maybe not the right thing, they want to hide under the cover of Anonymous. But no one really knows. Even Anonymous people who are acting as Anonymous don't know who Anonymous are.
I'm gonna answer that question with another question. What do you think is worse, obfuscation of the facts or internet vandalism?
Oh, I'm asking that. So basically, that's what you say to the critics.
That's my question to the critics. What's worse, people who twist the facts as they stand, or people who are trying to dismember the organizations that seek to distort the truth? I think that's a question people have to start coming to terms with.
I love you guys, man.
I think that Anonymous is using the tools of oppression to unoppress the oppressed. And to some respect, that has to be done. And if somebody's going to do it, it might as well be a bunch of guys with Guy Fawkes masks on.
How you doing, bro?
What about the private attacks? Like, there was some guy who had his pictures published off his computer. He was involved with the Oakland.
There are going to be radicals in any sort of organization. That's just one of the tactics that Anonymous uses. That's not the lion's share of attacks, but it is one way that they will go about doing it.
I just watched the
I don't exactly agree with it personally, but I still support the overall slant of Anonymous' activities.
So you're saying are you saying that Anonymous is more like a general idea, and that what some members of it do may not represent what everybody claiming to be part of Anonymous?
What this Occupy Wall Street movement is trying to do, Anonymous functions more on a sort of benign anarchy. This is a little bit more collectivized than Anonymous. Even within Anonymous, there's subgroups of people who have certain beliefs and engage in certain kinds of political activities that other Anons don't agree with. So even Anon is not as cohesive as you might like to think. But people will still come together under its banner because they enjoy what it represents, which is disobedience and rebellion and that same sense of benign anarchy.
Now that I agree with.